I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. I'm searching for the lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air like a blazing flare. Don't stare 'cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. You meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. My darling dear, you're never here. When I'm in pain, you hide and disappear. Like shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere. Yeah. I prayed for you and kept you near in hopes you'd chase away my fears. I'm on my own, you made it so, and now I'm chasing nightmares too. I used to run with you through the great big leaves, laugh at you when you laugh at me. Hope for us because I believe the home was just you and me. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into the stream. Nice little Saturday stream. First time I've ever been live on a Saturday. But what's up, guys? I appreciate all you tuning in. We're gonna spend the next hour or so breaking down the slate, answering any questions you guys got. So far, nothing's really changed besides the fact that Porzingis is now questionable. That was some news we didn't have last night. Porzingis is questionable on the back-to-back. Kind of a chance he doesn't play, but nobody yet has been unexpectedly ruled out. So yeah, we're just going to answer questions. Appreciate all you tuning in. What's up, Suave? What's up, Patrick, Jimbo, Christopher, Dave, Lordy, Andre? What's up, guys? What's up, Jay? You got burned again last night? Yeah, I feel your pain, Jay. I didn't have that great of a night either. I was able to cash on DK. I was able to make my money back on DK. I had a good amount of volume in double ups, and I was able to cash in double ups. I didn't cash in tournaments though. We'll review my lineup from last night, the lineup I played on DK and the lineup I played on Yahoo last night. Hey man, what would you say are top 3 most important things to keep in mind when constructing a lineup? I don't know if there's anything to keep in mind. I think you just, what I do is I just play the best plays. I think whoever I think the best plays are, I'm just going to play them. I don't let ownership, kind of sway me too much. If I think a guy's a really good option and he's a very strong play, he's going to do well. I don't care if he's going to be popular. I'm going to play him anyway. Last night I thought Trae Young was a great pay-up option. He wasn't that popular. That's the one thing I'd say is just don't let ownership take you off of guys that you think are still really good options, especially on bigger slates, because you'll see a lot of times a stud will be in a great spot on a big slate, and because it's a big slate and there's so many other options, those guys don't get that much ownership. Like there's people that say, oh, this guy's going to be 50% owned, I can't play him, and then at the end of the night he smashes and you're like, damn, why didn't I play him? I don't know. That's my one piece of advice, Jeremy. But I don't know if there's really anything when it comes to constructing a lineup. I don't know if there's any advice I can give you. just make sure your lineup is good. Like, don't be playing guys that aren't going to play or not going to get a ton of minutes. Make sure everyone in your lineup makes sense that they're in your lineup. Thanks for everything. Noah scored 322 last night, 17 points from first and some bigger tourneys. Hunter injury kept me from taking it down. Helped me keep going tonight, bro. Glad to hear that, David. And yeah, I played DeAndre Hunter as well. But in my Yahoo lineup last night, I had DeAndre Hunter and Russell Westbrook. So Hunter got injured, Westbrook got ejected. Yeah, that was a fun night for me. Hey, Noah, I've been following you for quite some time now, and I need the website for Patreon. Can you seem to pull it up from the comment section? What is the site? Love your expertise. Victor, you just look in the description of the videos. It's in the description. I mean, I guess I can type it in, but if you check the description of the videos, it's there. Just do patreon.com/DFS by Noah. First time tuning into the live? I appreciate that, Daniel. Glad you could be here. I'd assume since it's a Saturday and people are off of work that, we'll probably have more people tune in than normal. We'll probably have some first-timers as well. So appreciate all you guys tuning in. Let's get it, Brian. Let's get it, my man. I'm playing Gary Trent at the minimum salary on Yahoo. Yeah, I'd agree, Plump. I think Gary Trent, minimum salary on Yahoo, he looks like a really good value tonight. I assume he starts again. And if Robert Covington's out, Derrick Jones Jr. is already out. I don't know what their starting lineup's going to look like, but I'd assume probably Rodney Hood slides into the starting lineup. Either him or Simons, but I think it'd probably be Hood. Definitely going to be a lot to talk about from that Portland game because I think there's a lot of good plays on Portland tonight. What's good, Noah? What's up, Gilbert? Appreciate you tuning into the stream, my man. Hunter and Westbrook killed me. I feel you there, man. I feel you. In a few minutes, once we let more people get into the stream, we'll take a look at my lineups from last night. What's up, Noah? What's up, Texas Trill? What's up, my man? Steven Adams or Plumlee? I think on this slate, Michael, I'd probably rather play Steven Adams. I don't really like either one. Steven Adams last night, Steven Adams had 20 rebounds, and he still only scored like 30 DK points. It's just crazy, man. He just doesn't do much outside of, rebounding. I mean, you're going to need a double-double from Steven Adams, and sure, he could get that. But, I don't know. I don't think either one of those guys have a ton of upside, have a ton of GPP, winning upside, but I guess I'd play Adams if I had to choose one. What's the value looking like? I mean, right now, the value kind of coming from Portland. Xavier Tillman is still a really good value. He should start in place of Joval. He's still very cheap. He looks like a top value. But Portland could have some value depending on what their starting lineup looks like. If Robert Covington's out, there's going to be a lot of guys that are viable from Portland. If Porzingis winds up out, then we could definitely get some value from Dallas. I'm not sure what Willie Cauley-Stein's price is. Let me check that real quick. Willie Cauley-Stein is... Yeah, he's 3,600. So if Willie Cauley-Stein starts for Porzingis, I mean, he's going to be a great value at 3,600. I assume he would start, but Dwight Powell is back, so maybe they could start Dwight Powell. He's been playing more minutes than Porzingis lately. Just either one of those two guys, whichever one starts. If Porzingis does not play, they could be values. There's a lot of guys, though, like in the 5K, 6K range on DK that look really good. Like Dejounte Murray's still way too cheap. If Roko's out, I like Carmelo a lot. Lonzo Ball's way too cheap on DK. A lot of guys in that 5 to 6K range I like. What's up, Noah? Ready to bounce back tonight? Thanks for all your content. Appreciate you tuning in to the stream, Cornelius. Glad you could be here, my man. Happy Saturday, Noah. Happy Saturday to you, Danny. Which duo, Lillard and Zion or Morant and Giannis? That is close, Danny. That's really close. I think I'd probably take Lillard and Zion, but that's a close one. I like both sides of that. You're great, Noah. I appreciate that, Alan. Thank you, my man. Ingram or Middleton? I'd probably take Brandon Ingram over Middleton. What's good? What's up, Noah? Having a good weekend? Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, Brandon. Can't complain. What's good, Noah? I've got Hart, Tillman, Bledsoe, Trent Jr. as top values. Missing anyone else? I mean, I don't know why you would want to go to Josh Hart, really. I rarely play Josh Hart when the Pelicans are fully healthy, but Tillman's a good value. Gary Trent's a pretty good value if he starts again. Bledsoe is fine. But yeah, Trent and Tillman, especially Tillman. Tillman, he's going to be really, really popular tonight, but I think that's a good chalk. I think that's a guy you just want to play and kind of move on. Don't really want to get cute there. Last 2 games he started for Joval. He's played like 30 minutes in both games, and he's a productive player when he gets minutes. So, yeah, I think that's probably good chalk in my opinion. Who benefits from Porzingis potentially being out? It would probably be either Willie Cauley-Stein or Dwight Powell. Whichever one of those two guys would start, those would be the ones I'd target between the two. Anthony Simons, 3.6K on FanDuel, basically minimum salary. Is he a good play? I mean, he should get pretty good minutes off the bench. Like Portland, they run a pretty tight rotation, and if Roko's out, I mean, they're going to be down a bunch of guys. Like I would assume Simons probably plays like 26, 28 minutes off the bench. He could be a viable option on FanDuel. Porzingis is not out yet, Jenna. He's questionable. He popped up on the injury report as questionable for rest. I think it's likely that he probably sits, but we'll just have to wait and see. Normally when guys are questionable for rest, they normally don't wind up playing. But you never know. You never know. Thinking to go 95% with Lillard, Trent, Ayton, and about 60% on Porzingis. What do you think? I don't know if I'd be playing 60% Bobby Portis on this slate, but I like Lillard. I like Trent, and Ayton's in play as well. Not really on Bobby Portis, though, personally. Hey, bro, love your content. With similar price, do you like Zion or DeMar DeRozan more? Yeah, I think both those two guys are pretty underpriced on DraftKings. Probably would take DeMar DeRozan, but it's really close, Ryan. It's really close between those two. Spurs players all seem cheap. Would you prioritize any of them? Yeah, both, DeMar DeRozan, Dejounte Murray, I think those are the two guys I like most from the Spurs. Talking about DraftKings and their pricing there, both do feel too cheap. Love the live streams. Well, I appreciate that, tall guy. Appreciate that. 7.4K for utility. Any advice? We'll take a look real quick. After we do this, we'll take a look at my lineups from last night, too. Honestly, Andre, I'd probably take Zion there, either like Zion or Enes Kanter, or John Morant. It'd be probably John Morant there. Assuming you don't have John Morant already, I'd probably take him. But there's a lot of guys like Kanter, Morant, DeRozan, Williamson in that price range that look really good tonight. I don't think Porzingis has played on a back-to-back yet this year. I think he played on one of them, but the other one, I think they've had two back-to-backs. He played on one, and then he rested on one. So we'll have to wait and see. But real quick, guys, just want to take a look back at my lineup from last night in case any of you are interested. So on DK last night, I was able to cash in double-ups. I didn't cash in tournaments or anything, but I had a 282, which was good enough to cash in like most single-entry double-ups. This was my lineup I ran. Trae Young, Terrence Davis. I wasn't on Terrence Davis to begin the day, but once we got news that OG and Powell were both out and that Terrence Davis was starting, I liked him a lot. Minimum salary on DraftKings. He was a really good value in my opinion. Anthony Edwards, I wasn't a big fan of, but once it was announced that he was starting, I originally had Jared Vanderbilt in my lineup, but I swapped to Edwards once it was announced that Edwards was starting. Giannis, obviously I talked about a lot. I liked last night. Cody Zeller I thought was one of the better values on the slate. Kyle Lowry, he was probably my favorite guy out of the three big guys from Toronto, between Lowry, Siakam, and Van Vliet. I like Lowry the most on DK at his price, especially with no Powell, no OG. I just thought the offense was going to run through those three guys. So I went with Lowry. Ingles, we talked about, was a really good value with no Mitchell, and then Dejounte Murray was too cheap as well. So that was the lineup I played last night on DK. And for those of you that are wondering, my core plays on Patreon were Trae Young, Terrence Davis, Cody Zeller, Joe Ingles, and Dejounte Murray. Those are my 5 core plays on that I posted on Patreon for my members. But yeah, that was my DK lineup from last night. I was able to get most of my money back. I still took a slight loss, but was able to get most of my money back because I was able to cash in double ups last night. But then we'll take a look at my lineup that I played on Yahoo. So on Yahoo, was not able to cash much on Yahoo. I played some, had some head-to-head action that I was able to pull a profit in, but wasn't a great night on Yahoo. I did have Trae Young there. Had Jordan Clarkson. Originally had Jordan Clarkson in the DraftKings core, but I took him out for Terrence Davis once it was announced that Terrence Davis was starting. I like Terrence Davis a lot for value. Russell Westbrook, we talked about that. He got freaking ejected, which was just so tilting. So I had Russell Westbrook got ejected, and he was playing really well. He had 39 fantasy points in 27 minutes, and then the ejection happened with like 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. DeAndre Hunter got hurt, which was just a killer. Siakam I liked a lot once OG and Powell were out. Ingles was a really good value. Cody Zeller I thought was a really good value. Rashawn Holmes was the one guy I really didn't have a ton of interest in on this slate, but he just kind of fit as like a last man in my Yahoo lineup, so I just went with Holmes there as like a last man in. I didn't love him on the slate, but he was the only guy I really liked in that price range, and I liked the rest of my lineup, so I was fine playing him in that final spot. Obviously, he fouled out in 26 minutes, just really frustrating there, but yeah, guys, those were my 2 lineups from last night that I played on DK and Yahoo. Take a look at tonight's slate. I don't know why, but the chat right now, I might have to. Okay, there it goes. It was frozen for a little bit. I think the chat's working now though. But yeah, get any of your questions in for tonight's slate, and I'll be sure to answer them, guys. How's this lineup? Luca, Levine, DeRozan, Tillman, Zeller, Morant, Press Achua, Lonzo Ball. Hopefully some value opens up because I'm not too confident in Achua. Yeah, I don't know, Ryan, I'll be honest, I don't know if like Achua is someone I want to go to on this slate, but Luca, Levine, DeRozan, Tillman, Zeller, Morant, Lonzo, I'm fine with all those guys. I mean, if Porzingis winds up out, then yeah, I'd take Like, I'd probably take one of those bigs from Dallas. If you can find a way to fit them in, like if you can play Willie Cauley-Stein or Powell, I'd play one of those two guys over Achua. Chat's working? Okay, good. It was just frozen for a little bit, or at least nobody was typing, so it was when I was doing that lineup review. What's up, Noah? I got Lonzo, Levine, Hayward, Tillman, Zeller, Murray, Zion, and Morant. I mean, yeah, that looks pretty good, BK. Looks pretty good. You like Jaylen Brown at all? I mean, he's fine, Jesse, but honestly, that Lakers-Celtics game, I just don't have much interest in at all. Like, there really isn't much I like from either side of that game, to be honest. But yeah, Jaylen Brown's fine. I mean, he's obviously a very high upside player. And even with the Celtics fully healthy, like him and Tatum are still going to be the two guys that, dominate the usage. What do you think about Gabe Vincent? I think it all comes down to what happens with Jimmy Butler, with Tyler Hero. Both those guys are questionable. If they're both out, we already know Goran Dragic is out. If you get all three of those guys out from Miami, then yeah, Gabe Vincent does become viable. But like if Butler plays, or if Hero plays, I don't have a ton of interest in Gabe Vincent. Any good values tonight under 4K? I mean, right now the best value under 4K is by far Xavier Tillman, and I think that's pretty clear by now. You think Giannis will play after playing 39 minutes last night? So far, Anthony, I'm assuming he's good to go. He's not on the injury report yet, but we could get some random news from now till locked, so just keep an eye on it, but I'm just going to assume that Giannis plays for now. You like Brandon Clark tonight? I think he's viable, Eric. I think he's viable, but I don't know. Like, I just rarely play Brandon Clark. I know Joe Val's out, but normally I just don't play Brandon Clark when the Grizzlies are somewhat fully healthy. Plus his price is coming up as well. I think I'd rather target Tillman. I'd rather target John Morant. Clark's probably my third favorite option on Memphis, but I'd still prefer those other two guys over him. I'm only playing one lineup tonight. I just don't know if Brandon Clark makes it into my one lineup, unless he's like a last man in. Both Ball brothers and Halliburton for all guard spots. I mean, I don't know if I'd want all three of my guards to be those guys, because I think there's a lot of other really good guard plays on this slate. But I mean, I like Lonzo. I think he's too cheap on DK. Halliburton's been getting good minutes off the bench. Lamello, he's been up and down, but he finally did something last night. I mean, those three guys are fine, but I think if you play those three guys, you're missing out on like Deontay, Damian Lillard, John Morant, who all look like really good options. Lonzo or Halliburton? I think I'd take Lonzo over Halliburton. Noah, who's your favorite rookie to target on NBA Top Shot investment? I'll be honest, Dan, I have not looked at Top Shot at all. Who's my favorite rookie, though? I mean, I know Top Shot has to do with clips and stuff, so who could be a rookie that has a bunch of great clips? I mean, I could see Lamello hitting like a game winner one night and that being like a huge clip or something. I don't know. I have no idea about Top Shot. I've barely looked into it. I hear other people talking about it, but I haven't looked into it personally. Always play a weird lineup in tournaments just for giggles. Hero, Trent Jr., Lonzo, LeBron, AT, Melo, Lopez, and Olynyk. I mean, yeah, I would say, Lamar, that is a pretty suboptimal lineup, but in tournaments, you never know. Sometimes you'll see some weird lineups taking down tournaments. Kobe White have enough upside, thinking Levine is much higher owned. I like Kobe White quite a bit. For those of you that play on Yahoo, I think Kobe White looks really good on Yahoo. He is really cheap over there. He's all the way down to $21. He's the same price tag as Lonzo. I mean, I really like Kobe White at $21 on Yahoo, especially for this matchup. I think he's just too cheap, facing a pretty fast-paced Portland team that has never been good defensively. Definitely like Kobe White on Yahoo. We think about this lineup: Lonzo, Eric Bledsoe, DeMar DeRozan, Giannis, Enes Kanter, John Morant, Xavier Tillman, Willie Cauley-Stein. I mean, yeah, assuming that Porzingis is out, Willie Cauley-Stein, he fits into that build. So, yeah, I like that quite a bit, Robert. You think Morant is a must? His ownership is going to be high. I think, if you're talking about cash games, Jason, optimal plays, yeah, Morant's one of the more standout options. In tournaments, I mean, you can always fade guys in tournaments if you think they're too popular. So if you think Morant's too popular, I mean, you can fade him if you want, but I think he is one of the better plays on the slate, especially when you factor in his price tag on DK. Any interest in LeBron for GPPs? I mean, yeah, LeBron's going to be low owned. I still prefer other studs on the slate, but, I mean, anytime you can get LeBron under 10% owned, he's always someone I have interest in, but if I'm only playing one lineup tonight, it's very unlikely I play LeBron personally. Anthony Simons, the best low-cost option. I mean, probably right now the best value on the slate is Xavier Tillman. But Simons should get probably 26, 28 minutes off the bench, so he's in play. I think there's probably there's going to be a better value that opens up if I had to guess, especially if Porzingis winds up out. That's going to give us even more value. Besides Tillman, who's another good play under 4K, I mean, it's tough to tell right now, Alex, because there's not, we're waiting on some news with Porzingis and stuff. I mean, if Porzingis winds up out, it's going to be, whichever one of the two centers starts for him. I think if Rodney Hood starts, if Roko's out, I think Rodney Hood probably starts. He's only 3,800. He could be a decent value. But yeah, it's definitely going to be one of those Dallas bigs. If Porzingis is out, whether it's Willie Cauley-Stein or Dwight Powell, one of those two guys. Frank Kaminsky, I'm not chasing the Frank Kaminsky game from last time. I'll let other people do that. I think Dwight Powell, he's under 4K, right? Yeah, Dwight Powell's minimum salary. Oh, yeah, if he starts, he's going to be a really good value. You think Draymond Green will ever have a good game? I mean, Draymond is so frustrating to roster. On this slate, I don't think I'd be going to him. How's this lineup? Morant, Levine, DeRozan, Tillman, Cody Zeller, Dejounte Murray, Gary Trent, CP3. I mean, Oz Beasley, that's pretty solid to me. Korean barbecue or Italian? I've never had Korean barbecue, Spencer, so give me Italian, I guess. I do like some Italian food, man. Ooh, some good old chicken Alfredo. It should be hitting. Yahoo, $21 or less for 4. Let's take a look. It's probably going to be Carmelo for me. If Robert Covington's out again and Carmelo starts, I think he's probably going to play 36 to 38 minutes in a great matchup. So, yeah, give me Carmelo there, $18. LeBron or DeMar DeRozan in Draftkings tournaments. I mean, Dave, those two guys are completely different price points. Like, LeBron's 10K, DeRozan is like 7K. I mean, when you factor in salary, I'd rather play DeRozan. Good luck tonight. Got a dip. Chat with you later, Noah. All right, Van Dad. I appreciate you tuning in, man. And, yeah, good luck, man. Good luck. Thoughts on Lillard? You think he is a must in cash? Yeah, I think if I was playing cash on this slate, Jay, which I am, I'm probably going to have Lillard. He's my favorite stud right now. You like Thad Young? I mean, yeah, I think Thad Young's viable. His price is starting to come up on DK. Like, I think he's up to 5K now. It's a little bit tougher to play him at 5K. He's cheap on Yahoo, though, so if you want to play Thad Young on Yahoo, I think he makes sense there. He should continue to get the minutes while Wendell Carter remains out. The minutes should be there for Thad Young because it seems like they have no interest in playing Daniel Gafford. No way Morant should be 7K. I don't care if he's chalk. I'm playing him. I mean, yeah, I kind of have to agree, Ryan. I guess the only thing I worry about is that the Grizzlies haven't played in like 2 weeks. So I don't know if they're going to be playing Morant and the rest of their starters like 36 minutes in their first game back. But unless we hear otherwise, I'm going to assume they get their normal minutes. We think about Cody Zeller. Yeah, I think Zeller's a decent value. He's not as cheap as he was yesterday. He's up to 4,500 now, but he should start and play probably 30 minutes. And he's a relatively productive player when he does get minutes. He was in foul trouble a lot last night. If he's not in foul trouble, I think the minutes are going to be there. So, yeah, he's in play for sure. I think I'd rather save $1,000, though, and play, Xavier Tillman. But if you want to, I mean, you can play both guys. Kanter's going to smash the Bulls. I mean, yeah, I really like Kanter in this spot. I'm likely going to have Kanter in my Yahoo lineup. Not sure about DK yet, but I want to get him in on both sides if I can. Great spot for Kanter. Great spot. LeBron, Giannis, or Luca. If Porzingis is out, I'd probably take Luca there. If Porzingis plays, I think I'd take Giannis. Should I move Lonzo and Kanter for Murray and Blake Griffin or Steven Adams? I'd probably take Lonzo and Kanter. Still there. I'd still take those two. What about Christian Wood? I mean, yeah, Christian Wood's in play. I just don't know if he's someone that I'm going to be building around on this slate because I'm only playing one lineup on DK. I'm playing one lineup on Yahoo. I don't think Christian Wood's going to make it into my lineup tonight. The two lineups that I'm playing. I just think I'd rather save salary and play like DeAndre Ayton or play, Enes Kanter. And if we get some value at center, we already have value with Cody Zeller and Tillman. I think there's so many other better guys, factoring salary that I'd rather go to at center. Noah, you're the truth, bro. We're still here for you. I appreciate that, Black Book. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in, man. Have they said that Gary Trent Jr. is starting today? He started last game, so I have to assume he starts again. I think he started their last 2 games. And he's played really well. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't start him again. If Robert Covington is out, their starting lineup, because Derrick Jones Jr. is also out, so their starting lineup is likely going to be Lillard, Gary Trent, Rodney Hood, Carmelo, and Kanter. And then if Robert Covington plays, it'll probably be Lillard, Gary Trent, Covington, Melo, Cantor. So really, it's just we got to wait and see who starts for Covington. I would assume Melo still starts even if Covington plays. He'll replace Derrick Jones Jr. Glad I didn't play Hunter and Westbrook. Yeah, well, I played both of them, David. In my Yahoo lineup, had both Hunter and Westbrook. Westbrook was frustrating too, man, because he was playing so well. He had like 40 fantasy points with like 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. He could have easily got over 50 last night, and he gets freaking ejected, man. Oh. And he was so low owned too. Like Westbrook was like 5% owned last night. And a great matchup, man. God damn. Those are the ones that hurt. When you get those great plays at low ownership and then something like that, some bull crap happens where they get ejected. Frustrating. What's up, my DFS brother? What do you think about Blake Griffin? I mean, at this point, I just never play Blake Griffin. I haven't played him once this year, and I'm probably not playing him tonight. What do you think about John Wall? I really like John Wall. He got up to 30 minutes last game. I think he plays 30 again, if not more. His price went down a little bit. I think John Wall is definitely in play. Now, probably I'd rather get up to Morant if I can, or even save salary and play Dejounte Murray. But John Wall is definitely in play. I would have Wall ranked behind those two guys, though. Let's get it done, Noah. Let's get it, David. I appreciate you tuning into the stream, man. Morant or Lillard in tournaments? I mean, Dave, again, like those two guys are different salaries. I like both a lot. I mean, Morant's 7,100, Lillard's like 10,700. I mean, if you're asking who just scores more points, I think Lillard scores more points, but he's way more expensive. What about Harry Giles? Not expecting Cantor foul trouble or a blowout, but could happen. I'll be honest, Ethan, I'm not really on Harry Giles. And if Cantor gets in foul trouble and Giles gets more minutes, then so be it. But yeah, not someone I'm really looking to on this slate. Hayward or DeRozan? I think I'd take DeRozan there. I would take DeRozan over Hayward. Come on, fellas, let's get those likes up. Yeah, hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button. I don't know how many people we got in here right now, but I appreciate all you tuning in. Hit that like button. I appreciate all the likes. Do you like Cody Zeller? Yeah, I think Cody Zeller's in play again. His price went up a little bit, but he still should get the minutes, and he's still somewhat cheap. Like we've already talked about some other guys that are really good values, but Zeller's definitely in play for sure. Zeller and Grant or Portis and Ingram. Probably would take Zeller and Grant there. Zeller and Grant. Would you pay down for Zeller or pay up a little for Plumlee? Probably go Zeller for the savings. John Wall or DeRozan? I think DeRozan might be more popular, so I'd probably take John Wall there. I think both guys project somewhat similarly. I like the upside John Wall has. Like I watched a lot of that Rockets game when they played Portland the other day, and he looked really good, man. John Wall looked really explosive. I don't know why they're not giving him minutes. I mean, he looks healthy. Does Willie get played tonight for Porzingis? I would assume that if Porzingis is out, it's either Willie Cauley-Stein or Dwight Powell who starts. So whichever one starts, that's the one I have interest in. Secure the bag. Appreciate the input, homie. Well, thank you for tuning in, Jason. Thank you for tuning in. And that's the goal. That's the goal. Trying to make some money. I played Jordan Bell last night, and he didn't even see the floor in a blowout. I was pissed. Yeah, I was off. Once it was announced that Jordan Bell wasn't starting again, I had no interest in him. Top spend up Lillard or Giannis? I think I'd take Lillard over Giannis right now. Take Lillard over Giannis. Is Lillard, Cantor, and Carmelo too many trailblazers? No, I don't think so. I think you can definitely play all three of those guys. Noah, much love from DC. Thanks for all your hard work. I appreciate that, Dan. Thank you for tuning into the stream. Let's get this money. Let's get it. Tillman is 4.6K on FanDuel. Would be a cash game lock. Yeah, that seems pretty cheap, too. I don't know if he's like power forward or center over there, but yeah, Tillman's, I would assume he's cheap across the industry. What is a good target score for GPP on Yahoo? Salary is about 10 to 15 points. Yeah, that's what I usually look for, creative. So if I'm playing a guy at like $15, I'm looking for like 25 to 30 points from them. If I'm playing a guy that's $25, I want, 35, maybe 40 points from them. But when it comes to the really expensive guys, like the guys that are $50 or more, you don't need 10 to 15 points. You usually need like 10. There's really no specific number you look for on Yahoo. It's really tough to tell with how their salaries are. They don't have like the 6X thing like Draftkings does. First time tuning in went right over my question twice. Well, I'll ask it again, Kyle. I didn't see it, but ask it again. There's a lot of questions, so it's tough, man. But I'll be looking for it, Kyle. I'll be looking for it. Pay down for Zeller or pay up a little bit more for Plumlee? I think, yeah, we already hit on that. Pay down for Zeller for me. Don't forget about James Johnson if Porzingis is out. Yeah, he'd get a little bit of a boost. I think the bigs, though, whether it's Willie Cauley-Stein or Powell, those would be the guys that I have the most interest in. Talk about Halliburton yet? Yeah, we've kind of mentioned Halliburton. His minutes have been trending up. He's a pretty productive player when he does get minutes. He's definitely in play on the slate. You won me a C note last night. Thanks. I don't know what a C note is, but I'm glad I was able to help you, Mark. Any interest in any other Memphis players besides John Morant? I mean, yeah, it's besides Morant and Tillman, who are like the clear two plays. I think Brandon Clark's viable, but really not much else outside of those. It's definitely Morant and Tillman by a mile as the two most appealing guys on Memphis. Besides Powell, which power forwards do you like, homie? Let's take a look. I mean, Tillman's power forward on Draftkings. I really like Tillman. I like Carmelo if he starts again. DeMar DeRozan I like a lot. I think he's too cheap once again. Zion's a little bit too cheap, so a couple of power forwards I like. Lillard, Halliburton, Grant, Markkanen, Christian Woods, Simons, Tillman, Vincent. I mean, some of that's dependent on injuries, Chris. Like with Vincent, I would wait and see what happens with Butler and Dragic, or Butler and Hero. But yeah, that's fine for now. You would think Whiteside should be motivated versus former team, not a narrative guy, but I don't mind him. I mean, how many times has he played the Heat since he left? Like, if anything, he should be motivated against Portland because that's his former team. Oh, a C note's $100? Oh, well, that's good. If I won somebody $100, it's pretty awesome. I did not know that's what a C note was. Lonzo's a cash game lot. Yeah, Lonzo does feel too cheap on DK. Does feel too cheap. Dame or Luca? I think I'm going to take Dame right now. Even if Porzingis even if Porzingis is out, honestly, I still think I'd probably take Dame over Luca. I'm just really high on Dame. With no McCollum, with no Nurkic, I mean, the offense is going to run through him, and it's a fantastic matchup. So, really couldn't ask for a better spot for Lillard. What do you think? What do you think of Gorgie Dieng on the Grizzlies? I mean, even with Valanciunas out, like Gorgie Dieng just hasn't been getting a ton of minutes. They've been giving a lot of the minutes to Xavier Tillman, so it's tough to trust Dieng right now. I mean, he's a productive player when he gets minutes, but it seems like they want to play Tillman over him. C-Note is 100. Come on, man. You know you're not that old. I did not know that, bro. I'll be honest. I had no idea that's what a C-Note was. Thoughts on Keldon Johnson, De'Aaron Fox for DK GPP? I mean, both should be lower owned, so yeah, they're fine for GPPs. I think Fox I'd have interest in. Keldon Johnson, probably not as much, but yeah, Fox is definitely viable, especially his price went down a little bit. No, if Giannis is limited somehow, would you like Portis or Tillman? I mean, I'd probably still take Tillman. I would assume that if Giannis plays, that he's going to be full go. I doubt they would limit him. It's either he's going to play or he's not. Lonzo or Halliburton? I think I'd still take Lonzo there. Both are solid options, but I think I'd take Lonzo. Thoughts on Jeremy Grant tonight? I mean, yeah, Jeremy Grant's viable, but on a bigger slate like this, like I just don't feel like I need to pay nearly $8K for Jeremy Grant when there's, John Morant, Dejounte Murray, just so many other guys, Zion, DeMar DeRozan, that I feel a little bit more confident in. Gary Trent or Thaddeus Young? That's a close one. I probably would take Gary Trent, assuming he starts. Probably take Gary Trent, but it's close. Appreciate you, Noah. Got to bounce. I'll be watching your Twitter. Hopefully see you on Monday. Good luck to all of us. Let's score 360 tonight. Appreciate you tuning into the stream, David. And good luck tonight, my man. Good luck tonight. Giannis Middleton combo. I mean, normally I don't play both those guys together, unless it's like a really, really short slate. I really don't play Middleton when the Bucks are fully healthy, but Giannis is definitely viable. Jaylen Brown, Oladipo, or DeAndre Ayton. I mean, between those three, probably would take Jaylen Brown. That's close. I mean, I have interest in all three. Probably would take Jaylen Brown. I think he projects the best out of those three. But all three are viable for sure. Would you use Derek White tonight? Probably not. I would assume he's going to be limited in his first game back. And I don't think he's that cheap either. I mean, he's $4,800, but I just don't think we want to pay that much for Derek White. I mean, he hasn't played in almost a month, so he's probably only playing 20 to 22 minutes, if I had to guess. Maybe even less than that. Lillard, Melo, White, Young, is that too much exposure to one game on a big slate? I don't think so, Ethan. especially since that game is just so appealing. The pace, the amount of points that are expected to be scored. I'd be fine playing, 4, maybe even 5 guys from Portland, Chicago. 5 might be a little bit too much, but I think 4 guys from Portland, Chicago makes plenty of sense. John Wall or John Morant. I think John Morant's a safer option, but both have plenty of upside. If they both play their normal minutes, you could get 40 plus from both Morant and Wall. What's a good forward around 4,400? Let me take a look real quick. If Rodney Hood starts, he could be viable at 3,800. You got Tillman down there at 3,500. I don't really like any of these guys in this price range, though. So, yeah, probably be those two. You think Kanter has a big ceiling in this matchup? I think he does for sure. If they're going to play Kanter 32, 34 minutes like they have been, Kanter could drop 45, 50 any night, and I would not be surprised. He's a very productive player when he's on the floor. If you just watch Kanter play, he's always around the basket. He's always grabbing rebounds. He's always there to get putbacks. He can block shots. Kanter's just a fantasy monster when he's on the floor. Streams at 321 viewers. That's awesome. That's awesome. I don't know what my record is for most viewers in one stream, but I think it's close to that. It's like 380 or something. So I appreciate all you guys tuning in on this Saturday. Are you worried at all about the Spurs players with White back? He should get about 25 to 30 minutes. I don't think White's going to play that many minutes. I'd be very surprised if he plays 25, 30. I think, 18 to 20 seems likely, Nick. I don't think White coming back affects too much right now, assuming he's limited. Garrett Temple worth the value play. He seems to be consistently topping 20 per game. I just never feel like I have to have Garrett Temple in my lineups, and I don't even think he's that cheap either. He's 4,700. There's just no way I'm playing Garrett Temple on this slate at 4,700. Favorite forward play on Yahoo? When you factor in salary, I think, probably Demar Derozan at 33 looks really good. Carmelo, if he starts again, 18 I like. Thaddeus Young's really cheap on Yahoo. He's only 14. Those are a couple of guys I'm kind of looking to on Yahoo. Zach LaVine or Kobe White? If you have the salary, you probably want to play LaVine, but I think both are viable. You think 4 Portland guys is too many? Probably Jason. It depends on what 4 they are, but yeah, 4 might be a little bit too much. I think 3 is probably fine, though. It all depends on the pricing. All right, good looks, my guy. Good luck tonight. Or good luck, Alex. I appreciate you tuning into the stream. Thanks, bro, for all your insight. I've played in season-long fantasies for a long time, but I'm new to DFS, and your content has been very helpful. Best of luck tonight, and get that money. Thank you, Ryan. I'm glad I could help, man. I'm glad I could help. 2 centers tonight with Zeller and Kanter. I'm fine with both those 2 guys. Jay, fine with both those 2. Thoughts on Tatum versus the Lakers? Tatum he's in play basically any slate. He's such a productive player when he's on the floor. He always has a ton of upside. Normally I don't go out of my way to target players against the Lakers because they've been a really good defensive team, but would I be surprised if Tatum has 55 DK points tonight? I wouldn't be surprised, but probably not someone I'm going out of my way to play. Let's get a quick lineup off the top of your head and you get a new subscriber and a like. I'm sorry, Daddy D, but I can't give out lineups, my man. I'm trying to keep playing on DK. I'm not trying to get banned. And it's against the terms of service to give out full lineups. Curry or Lillard? I'd rather play Lillard. Any interest in Kuzma filling out a lineup? Not really. I just don't play Kuzma when the Lakers are fully healthy. If by some chance if Anthony Davis is out again, then yeah, Kuzma would be viable. But if that doesn't happen, then I'm not playing Kuzma. Did you already talk about Derozan? Yeah, we've mentioned Derozan a few times. He's a really good play. Both him and Dejounte Murray are too cheap, in my opinion, on DK. LaVine, I think, might smash tonight. It's a great spot for LaVine. I would not be surprised if he's one of the highest scoring players on this slate. You love Tillman on DK tonight? Hard not to. 3,500, probably going to play 30 minutes. He's a productive player. Hard not to like him. Zeller, Brook Lopez, Wood, or Enes Kanter in tournaments, pick 2. I'd take Wood and Kanter if you're asking me to pick 2 of those. But if you're asking between 2 of the cheap guys and then 2 of the expensive guys, I'd probably go Zeller and Kanter. Best value forward, I mean, right now it's probably Xavier Tillman, talking Draftkings because he has forward eligibility there. What do you think, LeBron? He's going to be low owned? Yeah, he's going to be low owned. He doesn't project as like a top option today, but, LeBron, anytime he's going to be low owned is viable. Any chalk that you're not eating on DK? I mean, it's too tough to tell right now because some better value could open up, but I mean, I really like Lillard. I really like Dejounte Murray. I like John Moran a lot. Xavier Tillman's a great value. I mean, if I had to build a lineup right now, I'd probably have all 4 of those guys in it. But my construction could change from now to a lock because, some news could come out that changes stuff. But I think that a lot of the chalk tonight, I think, is good chalk, especially like Tillman and Morant and Lillard. I don't think Lillard's going to be that popular, but I really like Lillard as well. Thank you, Noah, for everything. Any advice for tournaments? I mean, I'll be honest, I don't know what kind of advice you're asking for in terms of tournaments. Like good tournament plays, I mean, there's some guys that are low owned that have upside tonight, like John Wall. If people aren't going to play John Wall because they're worried about the minutes, I mean, he could get 35 minutes tonight, and I wouldn't be surprised. He has a ton of upside. I mean, Lillard, I don't think it's going to be that popular, so I like him a lot as a spend up. You can kind of mix in some of those lower owned guys with, some of the chalky values that project well, and that's how you win tournaments. You don't have to just play a bunch of guys that are 5% owned. You can definitely eat some of the chalk in tournaments. Greetings from Serbia. Keep it up, Noah. Damn, you're watching from Serbia. I appreciate that, Yvonne. Thanks for tuning into the stream. Thoughts on Wayne Ellington? I'll be honest, I never play Wayne Ellington. Like, he's just not someone I really get to, especially not on this slate. I think there's just so many other guys I'd rather go to. Let's say White is not limited. Will that hurt Murray's production? I mean, it'll hurt his minutes maybe. I don't know if he'll play 35, 36 minutes. He'll probably play like 28 to 30. But I would be very surprised if White's not limited. If anything, White affects, Lonnie Walker more. I think Lonnie Walker is probably the first guy that loses minutes to Derek White. You have any exposure to Christian Wood tonight? Ethan, I'm only playing one lineup on DK and one lineup on Yahoo. I'd be very surprised if I have Christian Wood in my one lineup. What do you think about playing Tillman Zeller in the middle and loading up on guards Levine, Dame, Ja? I mean, that's totally fine, Mark. Totally fine. Keep up the grind. I appreciate that, Daddy D. I appreciate that. Is Xavier Tillman the move? I mean, right now, Nashville boss, he looks like one of the better values. He's going to get the minutes. He's so cheap. I like Xavier Tillman a lot. Hard not to, really. Noah, do you have ownership projections? I don't, Jay. I think I've been playing DFS long enough to where I can kind of understand who's going to be popular and who's not. But, there's ownership projections out there if you want to pay for them. But I don't think you need to. I think if you're good enough and you know how to play the game, you can kind of tell who's going to be popular and who's not going to be. Appreciate the content, Noah. Stay cooking. Salute. I appreciate that, little monster. Thanks for tuning into the stream. Tillman is the lock. It will help you get some big stars. Even if he fails, the price is okay. I agree, Oscar. Even if Tillman has a disappointing game and somehow puts up like 18 or 20 DK points, I mean, he's still not killing you. He's 3,500. I can understand wanting to not play someone if they're going to be 50, 60, 70% owned. But when it's it's these 3K values that are going to play 30 plus minutes and their minimum salary, I don't care if they're going to be 80% owned. I'm just going to play them. And if they have a bad game, then so be it. But I'm more likely to eat the chalk on really cheap values that are going to play a lot of minutes rather than eat the chalk on a stud option. Thoughts on Andrew Wiggins? I mean, I just rarely play Andrew Wiggins when the Warriors are fully healthy. He's a fine option, but not someone I'm probably getting to personally. What would you say is the best shooting guard? I mean, if you can pay up, the best shooting guard is probably Zach LaVine. But there's a couple of guys I like at the position. LaVine, Kobe White, Gary Trent, if he starts again, I like quite a bit. A couple guys I'm looking to. Rodney Hood, if he starts. Is DFS in play? I mean, I don't know what his minutes have been looking like. I know he came back from, the health protocol. I'm not sure how many minutes he played in his first game back. So he's played 2 games, 24 and 23 minutes. It's a back-to-back. Probably not someone I'm going to be looking to personally. Rarely I play Dorian Finney-Smith because he doesn't have a ton of upside, and definitely not going to play him when he's not getting, his full allotment of minutes. If you win the 100K, what was the first thing you would buy? Honestly, I have no idea. Really have no idea. I guess buy a house. Since I'm renting right now, I guess buy a house. Porzingis rests tonight on the back-to-back. I mean, he could, Brian. He's questionable right now. So, yeah, he could be out. It's just something to keep an eye on. Chris Paul or Cantor? I think I like the upside on Cantor more, so I'd probably take Cantor. But both look really good, honestly, Kyle. I think both are very solid options. If Giannis is out, you like Bobby Portis as a value? I mean, yeah, Bobby Portis will be a great value, but I doubt Giannis sits. I think Giannis is going to play. Yo, bro, what's the difference between GPPs and cash? Jordan cash games are double-ups, 50-50s, head-to-heads. Basically, any contest where like 35 to 40% of the field gets paid. Those are cash games. Tournaments are contests where like 25% of the field or less gets paid. So the big contests you see on the front of the lobby, the contest with 100K to first with a ton of entries in them, those are considered tournaments, GPPs, whatever you want to call them. Favorite shooting guard on DK for GPP, 6,300 or less. Probably Dylan Brooks. If we already know Dragic is out, but if Hero and Butler are both out, then I'd probably take Kendrick Nunn there. But that's only if Hero and Butler are both out. If they play, then I guess give me Dylan Brooks or Buddy Hield, like one of those two guys. I mean, not much stands out in this price range as plays that I love. Carmelo or Aldridge? I'd rather play Melo. Thoughts on Morant, Paul, Wall, or Murray, Cantor, Tillman, Simons, and Zeller? I mean, if you're asking if that's your lineup, I mean, that looks solid if that's your lineup, but I can't really tell. Noah, my man, good to see you on this Saturday. Love the content. You're one of the only guys I see covering DFS on the Yahoo platform. Why do you think that is? Just popularity? I appreciate you. Well, thank you, Robert. The first DFS site I ever played on was Yahoo. When I first started playing DFS, I only played on Yahoo for a little bit, and then I got into DK, and I played a little bit on FanDuel. But, yeah, I don't really know why, Yahoo isn't as popular. You would think since they have, this big season-long platform, a lot of people play their season-long fantasy on Yahoo, that maybe they have a good DFS platform as well. And, I mean, they do have a good DFS platform, but obviously Yahoo doesn't have the, 100K to first tournaments that DraftKings and FanDuel is able to put up every night. It's all about the money, man. Like, if you only put up contests with like 2K to first, like if your biggest contests are 2K to first, 5K to first, like that's just not going to attract a lot of people. I still think Yahoo is a great way to make money, though. Like, the action is a lot easier. The contests are softer. I mean, I think everyone should be playing on Yahoo if they can. But that's just my opinion, honestly. Yahoo, back in the day, they used to be 10 entry max. Every contest, you could only enter 10 times, no matter how big it was. Those were the good old days. Would you ever do a 5 minimum salary players and the top 3 players on the lineup? Probably not, Suave. I don't think there's ever going to be 5 minimum salary players that are good enough, that are good values, unless they're just a slate where we have so much value. What's for dinner tonight, Noah? My girl's coming over. She's making chicken sandwiches. So that's what's for dinner. And I'm excited, man. Oh, I'm excited. She's making chicken sandwiches and waffle fries. My mouth's already watering. Is Cauley-Stein power forward, center, or just center? I think he's just center. Yeah, he's just center. Who are the best 10K plays tonight? I mean, right now my favorite guys above 10K are probably Lillard and Giannis. If Porzingis winds up out, then I probably would put Luca ahead of Giannis. But right now my favorite guy above 10K is Lillard. What do you think about Xavier Tillman on DK and Yahoo? Yeah, Tillman's a great value. He's a great value. Zion and Derozan or Levine and Carmelo? Oh, man, that's close. I'd probably take Zion and Derozan, but that's really close. I like both sides of that. Do you do DFS for a living? I mean, DFS, it's like a side income for me, but I make money on obviously putting the content out on YouTube. I make money on Patreon. Do I do DFS full-time, though? Is that my only source of income? No. Lack of marketing? Yeah, that's true, Continental. Like, you never see, Yahoo DFS commercials on TV, but you see DraftKings ads all the damn time. So maybe that's something Yahoo should do. They should probably try and put more ads on ESPN and stuff, get people to play over there. Unlike others, Noah wants his audience to succeed. I mean, yeah, I give you my honest thoughts, guys. And if you want to take what I say and run with it, you can. If you want to ignore anything I say, you can. But I basically tell you guys what I'm doing every night. I tell you who I'm playing, who I like, and That doesn't mean you have to play him, but I'm just giving you my thoughts. That's what I'm here to do. That makes sense on the bigger money draw at other sites. Once again, I appreciate you. Yeah, Robert, that's the thing. DraftKings can run these huge tournaments and they'll fill, whereas Yahoo, if they put out 100K to first tournament, there's going to be a ton of overlay. They're going to have to pay out a ton of overlay. They just can't do that right now. Their user base isn't big enough. Honestly, I kind of like Yahoo right now. I think it's easier to make money when there's smaller tournaments. The smaller tournaments are a lot easier to win than the bigger ones, I'll tell you that. Confident in my lineup. I just need a guard that's going to be sold for 3,800. Who can get me 15 to 20 points for 3,800 at guard? I guess you meant guard that's going to be solid. Let's take a look. It's probably Rodney Hood. Yeah, if Rodney Hood starts, he'd be the guy I'd go with, 3,800. Should make it homemade Chick-fil-A lady you got there. I mean, it's not homemade, but it's supposed to taste like it. Supposedly there's some stuff that you can get from like Aldi that's like it tastes exactly like Chick-fil-A is what everybody says. It's frozen stuff, but supposedly it's supposed to taste exactly like Chick-fil-A. So I guess we'll see. Why did Daniel Tice see a huge decrease in minutes? Did Williams come back or something? Honestly, I have no idea because I didn't play Daniel Tice, but we can take a look. Well, it looks like he had 4 fouls in 12 minutes, so I would assume he was maybe in foul trouble. That's probably my best guess. Best Rockets to play today? I mean, when you factor in price, I think my favorite guy on the Rockets is John Wall. If he gets over 30 minutes again, I mean, John Wall should be able to pay off his price tag for sure. We're going to break 400 viewers? Damn, that's awesome. That's awesome. I can check it on my phone how many we got right now. We got 385. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Love to see it. Love to see it. If you're new to the stream, man, I do this I basically do this every day. I don't know if I'll be live tomorrow, but Monday through Friday I stream every afternoon. So if you're new to the stream and you enjoyed being here, try and tune in if you can, on the weekdays if you're able to. Will Porzingis get minutes tonight? I mean, if he plays, I'm assuming he's full go, but we don't know that right now. Chris Paul feels like he's getting slept on. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of guards priced around him, Andrew, like John Morant, Dejounte Murray, that look like really good options. So Chris Paul may go a bit overlooked. I still think he'll get some ownership, though. And he is a good play, because without Devin Booker, Chris Paul is going to just have the ball in his hands a ton, and his usage does see a nice boost with Booker off the floor. Jaylen Brown or Brandon Ingram? I think I'd take Jaylen Brown over Ingram. Can you see a winning lineup with paying up for the studs over 10K? I mean, yeah, if any of these guys over 10K put up like 55, 60, they could easily be in the winning lineup. And all of them have that kind of upside. Maybe, LeBron, I don't know if LeBron's going to put up 60 tonight, but definitely could see Lillard doing that. Or even, Giannis or Luca. How different/similar is Yahoo from DK for lineup construction, pricing, scoring? Eddie, the scoring is kind of similar. I don't know if you play on FanDuel, but the FanDuel scoring is the same exact as Yahoo scoring. So, rebounds are worth 1.2, assists are worth 1.5, steals and blocks are worth 3 points on Yahoo. But I mean, it's the same, the same layout. You point guard, shooting guard, small forward, small forward, power forward, center, util. So the roster spots are the same as DraftKings. The scoring is a little bit different, but not really. The salaries is what you have to really get used to because on DraftKings, you're rostering guys at like 5K, 6K, 7K, whereas on Yahoo, they're $30, $28. Your budget's a lot different, but once you play on Yahoo, you get used to it. The pricing is different though. There's a lot of guys on Yahoo that are just too cheap, that are maybe a little bit expensive on DK. Like Gary Trent, for example, he's $5,200 on DK, but on Yahoo, he's minimum salary. You think Lonzo's a good play? Yeah, he's definitely a good play. He's too cheap at 5K. You like John Morant for $7,900 on FanDuel? I mean, yeah, I don't know the FanDuel pricing, down pat, but I think $7,900 seems pretty good for Morant. You doing anything on the Super Bowl next week? Yeah, I'll likely have a video up for the Super Bowl, and I might even stream. I'm not sure, but I'll definitely have a video up for the Super Bowl. And Yahoo does have they've got single game DFS now, so they're gonna have showdown contests for the Super Bowl, which is awesome. What's up, Noah? How's your day going? Pretty good, Patrick. Pretty good. How about yourself, man? Hope you're having a good day. But should I play Lonzo or Lamello? I think given the little bit of savings, I'd probably rather play Lonzo. I think Lonzo's safer, and his minutes are safer as well. Sorry, no, I messed my question up. I meant to ask without paying any stuff above 10K. Oh, without paying for anyone over 10K? I mean, yeah, like if any of the studs above 10K don't have big games, I mean, they're probably not going to be in the winning lineup. But with the decent amount of value that we have that does project pretty well, if those values do well and then the studs go off, yeah, you're probably going to see most of the studs in the winning lineup, or some of them. Do you use optimizers at all, or just gut, or do you suggest a particular optimizer? Kareem, RotoGrinders optimizer used to be free back in the day, so I did used to use that, but now I just hand build all my lineups. But there's so many sites out there that have optimizers, so it's really just your preference, honestly. New here, brother, man. Gonna be regularly. Appreciate all the info. Don't know much about this NBA, but feed some MLB, taking notes, learning to keep up, brother. I appreciate that, Larry. Thank you for tuning into the stream. FanDuel and Yahoo need to do what DK does, give the extra bonus for double-double, triple-double bonus. Yeah, I mean, they could. You would think like all the sites would just have the same scoring, but whatever. I remember the discussion in Discord on whether you should start going live. Good choice, my man, day one. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why it took me so long to finally do it, but it's been awesome, man. These streams have been so much fun to do. We'll be live for a few more minutes, guys. Been live for almost an hour, so going to wrap up things shortly. Only tough part about Yahoo is how everyone only has one position. Yeah, I mean, that does make it tougher. But honestly, it makes it more fun because, you can't just play everyone. You got to make some tough decisions, which means your opponents are also having to make tough decisions. Do you target guys who specialize in steals or blocks? I mean, I don't target guys specifically, Robert, but it is a little added bonus. Guys that can get a bunch of steals and blocks, because on Yahoo it's 3 points per thing, so it adds up a lot. You skipped my last two questions, though. I'm taking it personal. Ask it one more time, Lester. Hopefully I'll answer it before I end the stream. So Lonzo over Colby tonight on Yahoo. Christopher, I think I'd take Kobe White over Lonzo on Yahoo. Given they're the same price tag, probably would rather have Kobe White. What do you think the core plays for DK Cash should be? Like and subscribe. I mean, Joel, like some of the better plays right now look like Xavier Tillman, Ja Morant. I like Lillard a lot. Deontay Murray looks pretty good. Those are a couple of guys I think are really good plays on DK right now that are cash game viable. What's good, Noah? What's up, Obi-Wan? What's up, man? I'm new to NBA DFS. I used to be playing NFL, so this NBA side is all brand new as far as strategy goes and player production. But yeah, I mean, it'll take some getting used to, Robert. I've been playing golf recently, PGA DFS, so that's something I'm having to get used to. Understanding golf, I know the best golfers are, but learning about some of the other guys outside of the big names. 400 viewers, let's go. Damn, guys, I appreciate it. 400 viewers, man. That's a new record for me. New record. Awesome. Hey, Noah, huge question. Would you run P.J. Washington, Kyle Kuzma, or Carmelo Anthony, Thaddeus Young? Trying to fit the prices in on Yahoo, and it's one or the other. I'd go with Carmelo Anthony and Thaddeus Young for sure. Smash the like for this cat doing good work. Yeah, hit the like button, guys. We'll be live for 3 or 4 more minutes. Answer your last minute questions. Who is the popular guy you are fading? I mean, it's too early to tell right now, Bobby. I mean, a lot of the chalky guys I kind of like tonight. Like, this does feel like a slate where I'll be kind of eating the chalk. I mean, I don't know who's going to be popular that I'm not playing. I mean, because I really like Deontay Murray. I really like Ja Morant. I really like Xavier Tillman. I think they're all 3 great plays, and they're probably going to be popular. It is what it is. Sometimes I just eat the chalk, and that might be the case tonight. Who are your top cheap guys for Yahoo? I think Gary Trent, minimum salary, looks really good on Yahoo. Xavier Tillman's cheap. Cody Zeller's cheap. A couple guys I like right now. Chris Paul or Ja Morant? I think I'd take Ja Morant there. First time in the stream. Good stuff, bro. Always enjoy the videos. I appreciate that, Jimbo. Appreciate that. What's up, Noah? Happy Saturday. Thoughts on Blake Griffin? Seems really cheap. Feels he's worth the roster. I'll be honest, Eugene. I just rarely play Blake Griffin. Morant or CP3? Yeah, I think we discussed that, Danny. I think I'd take Ja Morant. Better start streaming on Saturdays. Yeah, I do want to from now on. If I'm able to, I want to start streaming almost every day if I can. Especially on the weekends because I know a lot of people are off of work, so they're able to tune in to the streams. I like how you don't pay for projections or anything the other sites offer. It's like there's hope for us little guys. Yeah, I've never paid for any site outside of when Adam Levitan launched Establish the Run, I subscribed to Establish the Run, but that's the only DFS site I've ever subscribed to. I watch other guys, I watch the Awesemo guys. I'll hear what they say, but at the end of the day, it's me putting together my lineups. I don't think I need projections or anything to be successful. I've been playing DFS for 3 or 4 years now, and I've been able to be successful without paying for information. Think you have any forward pivots off of Hayward other than DeRozan? Zion probably. Zion looks like a good pivot off DeRozan. Yeah, it's probably Zion, honestly, especially at his DK price. His DK price is really nice. What do you think about Cam Johnson? I'm not really on him, Andrew. Even if he plays a ton of minutes, he's just not that productive of a player that I really want to go to him. Thad Young or Tillman? They're a little bit different salary. I know Tillman's a little bit cheaper. I honestly would probably take Tillman, though. I like both quite a bit, though. Especially on Yahoo, Thad Young's really cheap. You the man won big tiers with your starting 5 yesterday. That's awesome, Luis. I'm glad I could help. Good luck, fellas. Thanks, Noah. As always, enjoy your feedback, helping us. Good luck, brother. Good luck, Nestor. I'll see you in the Discord, man. Feels like Zach LaVine could be a big upside tonight. Yeah, definitely. Good matchup. I would not be surprised if Zach LaVine, is one of the highest scoring players on this slate. Great insight, Noah. Much appreciated. Well, thank you for tuning in, Mike. Glad you enjoyed the stream, man. But yeah, guys, it's a little bit past 5:30, so I'm gonna wrap up the stream. I appreciate all you tuning in, man. We hit a new viewership, a new viewership mark, a new viewership high. So thank you everyone to tuning in. If you are new to the stream, if this is your first time tuning in, I do this normally every day. I might not be live on the weekends. The weekends are kind of iffy, but Monday through Friday, I'm streaming around 3:30, 4 o'clock Eastern time. So if you are able to tune into the stream, I'm live for about an hour every afternoon to answer all your questions, to talk through the slate. So, yeah, I appreciate you tuning in, guys. Best of luck tonight. Thanks, as always, for the support on the YouTube channel, for tuning into the vids, for hitting the like button. I do always appreciate the support. But good luck tonight, guys. Thanks for watching. All right. Good luck, fellas.